Welcome back to my channel. Here at Trades to G, we're going to be talking about BBAI. My name is Sammy. Before I go ahead and go into the deep TA, like and subscribe to my videos. If you like this sort of content, all I ask is for you to hit that like button. So, moving on to the charts. BBAI has been completely on a ripper. Now, I actually left some commentary here. Dotted lines are macro fib levels for the monthly, and then the solid lines are micro fib levels for the daily. Now, a couple things to note while I see this chart. Well, what I'm looking at right now is that the last time we had this, I see the RSI, and the last time we were into the bull zone. Notice the last time here, back in February of the 12th, back in the 5th and the 12th, right? We had this sort of huge momentum to the upside, and then we had this complete bullish downside trend. Now, obviously, this could have been down. This could have been because of bad news or some sort of headline, but this was a significant move that it was at least a 76% downside. Now, we're here again on BBAI. Now, we left the gap on the daily from, I think it's 599, completely catapulting over the golden ratio or the golden pocket. So, what do I expect for BBAI? Well, the retracement is going to happen. Where do I see retracement? Because I'm just going to get straight to it. I won't even waste nobody's time. So how do I know where the retracement will be? Well, first we have to observe where she is now on the 4-hour. Okay, so completely look at this volume bar. Catapulting everything from your previous levels. I mean, today was a very, very significant move, excuse me. We are completely into the bull zone. Your MACD is overly bought, at least not overly bought, excuse me. The extensions is heavy. The splay between the signal line and the MACD is shortening. So I suspect momentum to the downside. And not significant. I'm talking very, very small momentum. Where do I see the momentum back? Well, in terms of the micro trend, mega micro trend, I want to see here at the 382, 564. 564 mega micro right here. Typically, when you come back into these massive moves, if you hit the 236 micro and you make another swing up, this is a healthy retracement. Fine. You don't want to come back to the 382? Maybe the 236. Either way, I suspect these two zones, now excuse my drawing, I know it's a little bit confusing. Let me turn off this fib level here. Actually, I'll leave it on because it adds confluence, because this micro 0.65 daily micro 0.65 also hits your mega micro 236. So I love what I see here, so I'm going to leave that there. So if we are going to see continuous bullish momentum, either the 236 or the 382. So the 236 or the 0.65 or the 382. It's sort of the same thing. See 620 and 617. If you see here, look at your little scallops move. Look at the scallops. Momentum stocks create scallops. And scallops, depending on the fib bounce, if you draw from the high to the low, from the low to the high, you're going to create fib zones that are going to hit certain numbers. So for example, the 236 here would be typically a great observation bounce, because the momentum or the continuation bounce is still in the trend. Notice your RSI is steep into the bull zone, and then you also have your moving average. And you have a hot stock. Look what's happening with your RSI. It completely bounced on the moving average. It completely retraced back, not even touching your bull zone or the moving average. So if I'm going to see another continuation bounce, come back and try and test that moving average, hit the bull zone if you fail the moving average. If not, there is something called an invisible bearish line when you're overly bought in the bear zone. Now, that bearish line I would suspect would be right here, because we made a pivot. Sometimes you can get a little bit more, how you say, comfortable. Let's say this medium here, because we negated here, and we've had a little bounce here. So let's actually bring it down here. So you have your mid center, because the more you are overextended on the RSI indicator, the more the center line moves up. There's like a very invisible theory behind that. So we're going to follow that theory and how the RSI works. It all depends how overbought you are and how long you've stayed in the overbought territory. So I'm seeing this here since as of June 24th, June 25th, June 26th. the 7th, the 30th. So my understanding now is that this bullish number, or the RSI bullish number, is 70. That is your center line. We come back here, test it. That is a continuation. So if we're going to come back and test the bullish momentum, come back here at this $6.17, $6.20 for another continuation up. This RSI has to bounce at this bullish line here at the 70 mark and show some sort of momentum up. If you break that, technically, you're going to hit this level. That'll be considered the bull side. It all depends how long you've been in the over bullish territory. But that's not wrong, and it's not bad. The exhaustion of catapult movements like this, you do need the pullback. I didn't get on BBAI. I did not get on the train yet. I will get on the train yet. So if you notice here, we had a run up. We made a very slight bounce and then a massive run up. Here again at these lower lows, we made a massive move up. Then we made a slight retracement, and then we made another leg up. So it just shows you that the trend is your friend until the end of the trend. BBAI is very much showing it's showing continuation runs. It is very much a bullish run. But my job is not to catch the highs. My job is to catch the low. So if I had to suspect where the entry is for BBAI moving forward after this massive move up, we're talking. Let me see the movement here from the low to the high, approximately 91%, 84%. Jesus Christ. 84% from a very, very, very cheap and analytical entry for me. If I really wanted this at the best price, I would want this to come and back test. I'm going to show you. Let me just keep swinging it down. Right here. At that macro 0.65. Bring me back here, please. Bring me back here, please. Okay? Please. I really would love to see that. Okay? Let me get rid of these fib levels, these micro fib levels real quick, because I know it gets a little bit confusing. You have your macro, and then you have your micro daily. Your macro is your monthly dotted lines, and your micro is your daily solid lines. I would love to get BBA back into the zone, the 504 and the 494. Are we going to get there? Can't tell you. Our job as day traders is not to, our job is to try and foresee the future, but we're not mind readers. We cannot see the future. We can only speculate. So I always teach this, and I highly educate people. Hey, our job is to only see what's in front of us. So if I want the best entry on BBAI personally, I would love for her to come back around the 494. BBAI can make 20% moves up and 20% moves down. Any catalyst can send this flying up or down. The momentum is in. I just love what I see in terms of the continuation momentum based off my indicators. Now, she's overly bought because I see you can see here on your MACD, not your MACD, your DMI, your positives it's not overly bought yet, still 35, but we're almost scalding. We just hit the scalding level of 40, we're above 41. Your ADX is sloping, it's just sloping up. The momentum bearish sentiment is about to step in. But when it steps in, based off prior price history, look at this small little liquidity zone that we had. Nice little battle between the bulls and the bears, and we just made another leg up. So if I had to suspect another bounce in terms of momentum continuation, I would see here as another bounce. That would be exactly in line where we drew the micro fib. Let me see here just one more time, just to make sure I'm not crazy. Yup, right there. The 236 micro, which also aligns with the micro daily fib, which is the 0.65. But it's a hot stock. So I can see this happening. You come back, test a 6, another bounce. If not, if I wanted to get into this stock, personally, I want to enter this liquidity zone, which is exactly in line with your macro 0.65, the monthly macro 0.65, and your daily 0.5, which would be in line with 504, 495. Get me back here. That is a great entry zone, at least my opinion, for BBAI. If there was a catalyst where the stock can continue down, then you were looking at the 382. I doubt we'll get back to these zones because it's just super hot. But if we do, at least the 382 will be a very, very important zone. Where do I see BBAI in the future? All right, well, let's just take the daily. Let's just take the daily. We spent too much time on TAing on the micro level. You want to know where BBAI is on the daily? You want to know price targets for BBAI? I'll show you. I'll show you. Let me just get rid of all this stuff. I'll show you. Here. We're going to take a fib extension. This is on the daily. We're going to take a fib extension. You're going to take it from the rip, prior rip, or the prior candle from the rip. You're going to take, actually, let's show it on the 12 hour. Prior candle from the rip. Actually, let me do it on the 4 hour. Here we go. Perfect. Here we go. Take it from this candle, and these are your zones. This is called confluence. What just happened right now, and I just did this the first time. Excuse me. This is what you called confluence. When your extension levels also hits fib zones. Fib zones. And that's the macro. BBAI can come back to prior highs, $10. It is very much plausible that BBAI can hit $10.40, 49 cents. Your ultimate resistance will be that 886 macro fib level. That's on the monthly. BBAI can get really special, but it does need to come back, get some exhaustion in. If we do have it, come back here, at least in terms of the micro, and make another leg up. I don't like specifically how we get BBAI movement on pre-market levels, because that's how you get bear trapped, bear and bull trapped, depending on the side. Because pre-market and aftermarket, there is no liquidity. So it's ghost liquidity. I call it. It's scam hours, because institutions are buying at around those time frames, and they manipulate the stock on how they choose to. Orders are being filled between them, and that's it. There's no you and me, us locals, stepping in and playing into the casino. So very, very scary that it's always on pre-market. I would love to see some of this movement during market hours, where we see the actual price that BBA deserves. But again, BBAI is very much a bullish stock. It could potentially get to $10. I'm going to be here for it. At least we have levels. At least we have some TA. At least we have some RSI. We have our MACDs. We have our DMIs. We got everything in our repertoire to know what is the best opportunity to get in, what is the best opportunity to get out. BBAI is on my watch list. I will definitely be charting her every single day, because I too want to get on this. I'm not in it yet. I will catch the knife when the time comes. She's going to have a retracement, I promise you. But we're going to be there together. Join the Discord, like my channel, like the video if you enjoy this kind of content. The more you like it, the more I provide this sort of TA. So thank you so much for joining me. You have a great day.